Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of University of Delhi, a very warm welcome to our chief guest, Shri Jagdeep Dhankarji, Honorable Vice President of India. A hearty welcome to Professor Yogesh Singh, Vice Chancellor, University of Delhi, Professor Balram Pani, Dean of Colleges, University of Delhi, Professor Shri Prakash Singh, Director, South Delhi Campus. Respected deans, principals, head of departments, faculty, and dear students, we have gathered today for inauguration Kartavyam, celebrating 75 years of the Indian Constitution. I request everyone to kindly rise for the national anthem.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Thank you. I again request everyone to rise for the University Kulgeet.
जयति जय जय जयति जय जय ज्ञान का लोक अनुपम
श्रेष्ठ सुंदर दिव्य दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय विहंगम
जयति जय जय जयति जय जय ज्ञान का लोक अनुपम सकल वसुधा निज कुटुंब की भावना संस्कृति सनातन आधुनिक शिक्षा पुरातन ज्ञान धाराओं का संगम
देश की स्वाधीनता हित भूमिका शतकोटि वंदन
निष्ठा धृति सत्यम के मंगल दिव्य भावों का समागम
जयति जय जय जयति जय जय ज्ञान का आलोक अनुपम
भव्य महाविद्यालयों के परिसरों से चिर सुशोभित श्रेष्ठ गुरुजन कर रहे नित छात्र और छात्राएं दीक्षित
सदचरित्राचार पावन साधना संकल्प संयम
नवल वैश्विक चेतना नव क्रांति संस्कारों का उद्गम जयति जय जय जयति जय जय ज्ञान का लोक अनुपम
श्रेष्ठ सुंदर दिव्य दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय विहंगम
जयति जय जय जयति जय जय ज्ञान का लोक अनुपम
ज्ञान का आलोक अनुपम
ज्ञान का लोक अनुपम
ज्ञान का आलोक अनुपम.
Thank you very much. In keeping with Indian traditions, we begin today's program with lighting of the lamp to the Saraswati Vandana. I request our chief guest, Honorable Vice President of India, to kindly join us in lighting of the lamp.
शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय
Thank you very much, sir. I request Professor Yogesh Singh, Vice Chancellor, University of Delhi, to kindly felicitate Shri Jagdeep Dhankar ji, Honorable Vice President of India. Sir, there's one more gift. Thank you very much, sir. The Indian Constitution is India's supreme legal document. The Indian Constitution is India's supreme legal document, defining the governance framework, citizen rights and duties. Observing the Constitution through duties fosters a culture of responsible citizenship. India's ethos has long emphasized dharma, duty, over adhikar, rights. Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji, has often reiterated Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. World is one family. It highlights collective duty over individual gain. I request Professor Shri Prakash Singh, Director, South Delhi Campus, to kindly deliver the welcome address.
धन्यवाद। आज हमारे लिए बहुत सौभाग्य का दिन है। भारतीय संविधान की 75 वर्षों की सफलतम यात्रा के संदर्भ में दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय के संरक्षण में आरंभ हुई कर्तव्यम व्याख्यान माला के उद्घाटन सत्र में मुख्य अतिथि के रूप में पधारे भारत के माननीय उपराष्ट्रपति जी, राज्यसभा के माननीय अध्यक्ष, और हम सब के लिए गौरव का विषय है कि आप दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय के माननीय कुलाधिपति हैं। आपकी सौम्यता, सहजता, विनम्रता, चैतन्यता, संवेदनशीलता और दृढ़ निश्चय हम सभी के लिए अनुकरणीय है। ऐसे श्रीमान जगदीप धनखड़ जी, उपराष्ट्रपति भारत राष्ट्र का दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय के इस कैंपस में, इस परिसर में बहुत बहुत स्वागत है, बहुत बहुत अभिनंदन है। मंच पर दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय के ऊर्जावान संकल्प साधक माननीय कुलपति प्रोफेसर योगेश सिंह जी, आपके नेतृत्व में हम सबका मान बढ़ा है, दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय का मान बढ़ा है। विगत वर्षों में दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय ने आपके नेतृत्व में अतुलनीय और श्रेयस्कर यात्रा की है। आपको बहुत बहुत बधाई और अभिनंदन। मंच पर आसीन मेरे वरिष्ठ सहयोगी अधिष्ठाता महाविद्यालय प्रोफेसर बलराम पाणी जी, आपका भी बहुत बहुत अभिवादन एवं बहुत बहुत स्वागत। दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय के कुल सचिव डॉक्टर विकास गुप्ता जी, कैंपस ऑफ ओपन लर्निंग की निदेशक प्रोफेसर पायल मागो जी, अधिष्ठाता छात्र कल्याण प्रोफेसर रंजन त्रिपाठी जी, विधि संकाय की अधिष्ठाता प्रोफेसर अंजुवली टिक्कू जी, कैंपस लॉ सेंटर की इंचार्ज प्रोफेसर अलका चावला जी, कर्तव्यम व्याख्यान माला की संयोजक डॉक्टर सीमा सिंह, डीन कैंपस लॉ सेंटर के इंचार्ज प्रोफेसर अनुपम, डीन एकेडमिक्स प्रोफेसर रत्नावली, members of University of Court, members of Academic Council, members of Executive Council, Finance Committee, deans of respected faculties, head of departments, directors of various centers, principals of our colleges, distinguished guests, faculty members, officers and officials of University of Delhi, और हमारे प्रिय विद्यार्थी, आप सब एक नए अध्याय के साक्षी बन रहे हैं जब दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय ने एक नई श्रृंखला शुरू की है कर्तव्यम पर, जो कि संविधान के अंतर्बोध से हम सबको परिचित कराएगी। और इस श्रृंखला का संयोजन बहुत खूबसूरती से किया गया है। तमाम अकादमिक संस्थाएं, जैसा मुझे बताया गया 18 अकादमिक संस्थाएं इसमें हमारा सहयोग कर रही हैं। इसका लाभ हमारे विद्यार्थियों को और भारत के नागरिकों को मिलेगा, ऐसी अपेक्षा करता हुआ मैं पुनः दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय की तरफ से माननीय उपराष्ट्रपति जी का अपने इस विशिष्ट परिचय में बहुत बहुत स्वागत करता हूं, अभिनंदन करता हूं। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
Thank you very much, sir. I request Professor Yogesh Singh, Vice Chancellor, University of Delhi, to kindly address us.
Namaskar, good morning to all of you. Honorable Vice President, Adarniye Jagdeep Dhankar ji, Professor Balram Pani, Dean of Colleges, Professor Shri Prakash, Director, South Campus, Dr. Vikas Gupta, Registrar of the University, Professor Anju Wali Tikku, Dean, Faculty of Law, Professor Alka Chawla, Dr. Seema Singh, Honorable Members of Academic Council, Executive Council, Finance Committee, and University Court, respected Deans, Head of the Departments and Principals, distinguished faculty members, heads of all 19 partner universities and colleges, university officers and officials, and my dear students and ladies and gentlemen, Namaskar and good morning to all of you. I have the privilege to welcome our respected Honorable Vice President of India on this historic commemorative occasion. आपका अभिनंदन और स्वागत सर। दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय अपने चांसलर के आने से गौरवान्वित है और अभिभूत है सर। Our Chancellor is an accomplished and distinguished student of Constitution of India. He has expertise. Our country is proud to have such a bright and tejasvi son who has courage to say right words at right time. Who has courage to say right words at right time? I would like to quote few lines of Hariom Pawar कि मैं वो कलम नहीं हूं जो बिक जाती हो दरबारों में, मैं वो कलम नहीं हूं जो बिक जाती हो दरबारों में, मैं शब्दों की दीप शिखा हूं अंधियारे चौबारों में, मैं वाणी का राजदूत हूं, सच पर मरने वाला हूं, सच को सच कहने की हिम्मत करने वाला हूं, सच को सच कहने की हिम्मत करने वाला हूं। मेरी कलम वचन देती है अंधियारों से लड़ने की, मेरी कलम वचन देती है अंधियारों से लड़ने की, राजमहल के राजमुकुट के आगे तनकर अड़ने की। उसका मर जाना ही अच्छा है, उसका मर जाना ही अच्छा है जो खुददार नहीं। देश जले मैं कुछ ना बोलूं, मैं ऐसा गद्दार नहीं। देश जले मैं कुछ ना बोलूं, मैं ऐसा गद्दार नहीं। I would like to congratulate Faculty of Law, Campus Law Center for conceiving an year-long constitutional law lecture series to celebrate 75 years of Indian Constitution. And theme is very important, relevant, and significant for our country. That is Kartavyam. Kartavyam, meaning thereby duties, dharma, or responsibilities. Who can be a better speaker for the inaugural session than our Honorable Vice President of India, sir, who is a legal luminary par excellence. We are lucky to have such an accomplished person in the university. Honorable Prime Minister of India has rightly termed the Amrit Kal as Kartavya Kal. Amrit Kal as Kartavya Kal, an era of fulfilling the fundamental duties. Honorable Prime Minister said, the Azadi Ka Amrit Kal is the time for duty towards the country. Be it people or institutions, our responsibilities are our first priority. After 75 years of Indian Constitution and its implementation, time has come to change the focus of public discourse from right to duties. Country has seen, we have seen many discussions, deliberations, and debates on rights, and many agitations also on rights. But now time has come to think and rethink and change this discourse from rights to duties. No doubt rights are essential. No doubt rights are essential. Rights are important. However, rights cannot be ensured without commitment towards duties. Duties are more important, and their impact can be felt in the growth and development of our country, and also in the welfare of we, the people of India. Delhi University has also, sir, played a very important role during framing the Constitution. In early 1940s, the Faculty of Law, University of Delhi, became an intellectual hub for constitutional deliberations, debates, and discussions. Many workshops were organized in those days, and our library served as a resource center for comparative constitutional studies. It's a matter of pride to all of us. I would like to quote, we are proud of our alumnus, Justice Hansraj Khanna, who graduated from University of Delhi. He gave dissenting opinion in the ADM Jabalpur case during the emergency, affirming that the rights to life and liberty cannot be suspended even during emergency. That was historic dissent. He had the courage to do it. He is an example of constitutional courage. We all know emergency was the darkest hour of our constitution, when constitutional rights were suspended, censorship was imposed on press, there was hardly any freedom for citizens of India. Duties are important. Many people could do it, many could not. Bhagwan Krishna has said in Gita rightly, कि कर्मण्य वाधिकारस्ते मां फलेषु कदाचना मां कर्म फल हेतु भूर्माते संगो सत्व कर्मणि, कि कर्म पर हमारा अधिकार है, उसके फल पर नहीं है। लेकिन कर्म फल हमारे को कोई फायदा ही नहीं है, इसलिए काम ही ना करें, ये भी कोई अच्छी बात नहीं है, ये आसक्ति नहीं होनी चाहिए। तो यही बात है कि जब हम बात करते हैं कर्म की, कर्म किससे आता है? रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी से, ड्यूटी से, धर्म से आता है। और यदि वो ही नहीं होगा, वो कर्म घातक हो सकता है। ये हमें ध्यान रखना चाहिए भारत के बच्चों को कि यही सत्य है, यही धर्म है, और यही कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन आपसे अपेक्षा रखता है। आई विल कंक्लूड बाय डॉक्टर अंबेडकर्स वर्ड which convey the idea of nation first. I would like to quote Dr. Ambedkar, I do not want that our loyalty as Indians should be slightly affected by any competitive loyalty, whether that loyalty arises out of the religion or out of the culture or out of the language. So religion, culture, and language. I want all the people to be Indian first, Indian last, and nothing else but Indians. We should always remember the quote of Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar. This will happen only if we perform our duties and responsibilities diligently, sincerely, seriously, and efficiently in the interest of our country. And I am extremely thankful for Faculty of Law for organizing this series with the theme of Kartavyam. And I would like to thank Honorable Vice President of India and Chancellor of University of Delhi for sparing time and starting this deliberation and discussions after 75 years of Indian constitutions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your thought-provoking words. I request our chief guest, Shri Jagdeep Dhankarji, Honorable Vice President of India and Chancellor of our university, to kindly share his thoughts with us.
Very good morning, all of you. These days, I am being challenged beyond rational approach. I came here, I got out of my car, and the question was, why Dr. Sudesh Dhankad is not with you? Let me reveal the reason. I care for freedom of expression and speech. There have been many caveats already on what I have spoken. Why get it from your spouse, the super boss? Sri Yogesh Singh, Vice Chancellor, University of Delhi, he spoke not out of his mind, not out of his heart. He spoke out of his soul. This place is unique, and I am beholden to the Vice Chancellor for giving me this opportunity on more than one occasion. And I'll tell you why. I was Governor of the State of West Bengal and had the good fortune to be at a place from where Britishers ruled for long. So an Indian mind had the great occasion to occupy that place. I have had the good fortune, at the invite of the Honorable President, the first tribal woman to hold that position, to be at Rashtrapati Bhavan. I had the good fortune in 1990 to be sworn in as a Union Minister at Rashtrapati Bhavan. But something was missing. What happened for 20 years, 2 decades, it was from this place. Boys and girls and those in the last bench, you are not backbenchers. You happen to be sitting at the end, but you are more significant for everyone. When I am always not superstitious, but careful about the sitting arrangement. I keep on my right, as I do in Rajya Sabha, the government. So Yogesh Singh and Prakash. But on my left, we always have the opposition. Professor Balram Pani. जिस नाम ने भगवान श्री कृष्ण को ताकत दी, वो आपके लेफ्ट साइड में है, कुछ गलत नहीं हो सकता. It will be the right check on the right side. The left is very powerful. And that is why in our body, heart is on the left side. Shri Prakash Singh, in his brief address, gave out contours of what will happen over next year on very important aspect that is pulsating in the mind and heart of 1.4 billion people and beyond. Distinguished members of the faculty and everyone associated with the management, and dear friends, but let me start with one observation imparted by your Vice Chancellor. He reflected rightly that a distinguished judge, a jurist, H.R. Khanna, was your alumnus. That reminds me and should remind us always why in this country we are celebrating 2 days. And those 2 days are, one is Constitution Day, and the second is Svidhan Hatya Divas. Why do we do that? We do it with a purpose. Because on 26th November 1949, the Constitution was adopted. Young boys and girls need to be reminded, because that Constitution was tested, strained, molded, revised on 25th June 1975. That was the darkest period in human history of democratic world. I say darkest because the highest court of the land held, ignoring verdict of 9 high courts. 9 high courts were uniform, that in democracy fundamental rights can never be put on hold. Access to judiciary cannot be moderated, much less denied, being a fundamental right under Article 32 of the Constitution. But that was done. I would not go more on that. But what was held by the Supreme Court? Executive of the day is sole arbiter of fundamental rights. It can suspend them for as much time as it likes. There was one dissent voice. Dissent, D-E-C-E-N-T, and dissent, D-I-S-S-E-N-T. And that emanated from an alumnus of this place. Boys and girls, remember what was written at that point of time in the New York Times editorial. I quote from the editorial. If India ever finds its way back to freedom and democracy, that were proud hallmarks of its first 18 years as an independent nation, someone will surely erect a monument to Justice H.R. Khanna, unquote. So, boys and girls, I am at the right place and reminding you that each one of you must always bear in mind why for last 10 years we are celebrating Constitution Day and why we have started remembering Svidhan Hatya Divas. Because by virtue of your age, you may not have seen what went through. Imagine in a democracy, lakhs of people are put behind the bars, tortured, traumatized, with no hope. The tunnel for them was dark. There was no light. And therefore it is befitting, particularly at this place, to start this series and look at the nomenclature of it. Kartavyam, a Sanskrit word that defines all. I need not say more on that. And I'm sure it will be game-changing for the nation to be enlightened on these aspects. In our country, iconization is taking place frequently. We iconize people without testing them. We accord them elevated status on parameters that are baffling. Sometimes it is managed, event managed, and suddenly you will find in a particular field one becomes a leader. Time for us to challenge such things. We must be discerning. We cannot allow these people who have no claim justifiably to influence our minds. Before believing them, we must test them. And therefore, I am saying unhesitatingly that Campus Law Center is iconic. It has been tested all throughout. The reputation is well earned, well recognized. And why? Because it has been, as indicated by the Vice Chancellor, a great place of ideation. I'm so glad you are starting this ideation now in a different mode. By all standards, Campus Law Center and its alumni have shaped the destiny of the nation. Let me recall my good friend who is no more, Arun Jaitley, and the contributions he has made, and many more. And therefore I can say it's a crucible of change. And as was reflected in pre-Socrates era by a philosopher, Heraclitus, the only constant in life is the change. This change will emanate now from here on what is our constitution, what are our obligations, and our belief, supreme belief, unrestricted, unregulated, in nothing but truth, absolute truth, because truth is sanctified by our civilizational ethos, our Vedic culture, and is a demand of our constitutional core values. Therefore, boys and girls, for me it is an absolute honor and privilege to be in this great, enormously talented, with huge potential, human laboratory of ideation that can catalyze big change and innovation. And so my greetings to all of you. Kartavyam, duty in Sanskrit, perfectly embodies the gazing that is before me. It is a word rooted in action, obligation, and the moral force that sustains civilizations. Our father of the Constitution, people of great eminence, they gave us a constitution thoughtfully, working painstakingly, engaging in dialogue, discourse, debate, deliberation, avoided confrontation, always went for consensus. They had, boys and girls, divisive issues before them, highly contentious issues. But they gave us a constitution that represents our identity, values, and national aspirations. But according to our constitution, our civilizational values, and for any democracy, every citizen has a pivotal role. I find it inconceivably intriguing that some have recently reflected that constitutional offices can be ceremonial or ornamental. Nothing can be far distanced from a wrong understanding of role of everyone in this country, constitutional functionary or a citizen. According to me, a citizen is supreme because a nation and democracy are built by citizens. Every one of them has a role. The soul of democracy resides and pulsates in every citizen. Democracy will blossom. Its values will get heightened when citizen is alert, citizen contributes. And what citizen contributes, there is no substitution of that. But boys and girls, if citizen is soul of democracy, this soul gets practical dimensions. It becomes fully meaningful. There is ground realization when citizen performs duties. Individual obligations in society are fundamental to sustaining the society and for upkeep of its values. And that is reflected in our Constitution's preamble. Before that, those who are law students, let me tell you, in one case, Golaknath, Supreme Court said, preamble is not part of the Constitution. Later on, in another bench, Keshwanand Bharati, it is part of the Constitution. But let me tell you, notwithstanding all these, Constitution is encapsulated, its essence, its worth, its nectar in preamble of the Constitution. And what does it say? We, the people of India, the supreme power is with them. No one is above the people of India. And we, the people of India, under the Constitution, have chosen to reflect their aspirations, their desire, their will, through their public representatives. And they hold these representatives accountable, severely accountable on occasions, through elections. A prime minister who imposed emergency was held accountable in 1977. And therefore, let there be no doubt about it. Constitution is for the people, and its repository of safeguarding it is that of elected representatives. They are the ultimate masters as to what constitutional content will be. There is no visualization in Constitution of any authority above Parliament. Parliament is supreme. And that being the situation, let me tell you, it is as supreme as every individual in the country, part of we the people, is an atom in democracy, and that atom has atomic power. And that atomic power is reflected during elections. And that is why we are a democratic nation. Democracy is not only for the government to govern, it is participatory democracy. Just not laws, but also culture and ethos. Citizenship demands action, not merely status. Already Dr. Ambedkar has been quoted, but I will reiterate. Dr. Ambedkar recognized freedom requires responsibility, and that is why we have in our Constitution fundamental rights and fundamental duties. To the students of law and everyone in general, let me tell you, fundamental duties were not there originally in the Constitution. But Constitution is a dynamic document. It has to reflect aspirations of the people, take note of contemporary situations. So we had by 42nd Constitution Amendment Act, a new part added to Indian Constitution, Part 4, Capital A. And that introduced an article, Article 51A, that initially gave 10 fundamental duties. But then it was felt, one more duty needs to be added. And that, if I'm not wrong, was brought about by 86th Constitution Amendment Act, early in this century, to give great impetus on education. We must always give precedence to our duties above our rights, because this nation is ours. Nationalism requires commitment that is unadulterated, a commitment that is emanating voluntarily, and that this will not be superseded by any other consideration, partisan, personal, or otherwise. Now, our Constitution, as a matter of fact, boys and girls, reflects our civilizational ethos of thousands of years. We are so unique in the world, unparalleled. The world is recognizing our might now. The world is understanding India, Bharat, as it was 1300 centuries ago. And therefore, we can cull out from Vedic Dharma our constitutional vision. And that vision is democracy is shaped not by governments. Democracy is shaped by individuals, because individuals bear the responsibility to uphold our symbols, preserve our heritage, defend sovereignty, foster brotherhood. This has happened during emergency. People gave their supreme sacrifice, but did not bargain for fundamentals of our civilization reflected in our Constitution. But then, boys and girls, what is democracy? We have to understand. Democracy thrives through expression and dialogue, अभिव्यक्ति और संवाद. ये प्रजातंत्र के मूल मंत्र हैं. If your right of expression is throttled or regulated, as was done during emergency, democracy nosedives. But if you have right of expression, and that right of expression is reflecting arrogance, ego, then my expression is ultimate. I will not brook any different point of view. I will not look at the other point of view. That again is also not expression as per our civilization. Because every expression demands respect for dialogue, respect for the other point of view. You must ever be prepared to be challenged. Because to challenge is not a physical challenge. It's a challenge of an idea, a thought that I disagree with you. That does not mean I am disagreeable. There must always be room, and therefore expression and dialogue both are complementary and define democracy. If we go into our civilizational wealth, इसको वैदिक काल में अनंतवाद कहा जाता था। वाद विवाद की परंपरा थी। वाद विवाद का मतलब अहम और अहंकार से दूर था। वाद विवाद अहम और अहंकार को खत्म करता है, क्योंकि यदि अगर मैं ही सही हूं, मेरा अलावा कोई सही नहीं है, यह अहम और अहंकार व्यक्ति को ही नहीं संस्था को भी धूमिल कर देता है। इसीलिए प्रजातंत्र के लिए जरूरी है अभिव्यक्ति और संवाद। Democracy, boys and girls, lives in conversation. And everyone is equal when it comes to conversation. I cannot claim a higher pedestal by virtue of my position. That what a boy and girl will say, different than what I say, cannot be right. I cannot be a judge in my own cause. To the students of law, read any book on administrative law, Indian or foreign, MP Gens or Veds, you will find this will be repugnant to the fundamentals of natural justice. That being the situation, expressing thoughts fulfills a democratic duty, not just exercising rights. Every young mind, boys and girls, must be activated. Fortunately, on account of technological advancement and our Bharat, the technological penetration has stunned the entire world. It has reached the last person. Everyone is benefiting. So boys and girls, the power is in you. You have to project your own ideas. You have to protect the idea which you believe is correct. And you have to neutralize the pernicious idea which you think is wrong. Because democracy's health reflects. If you want to know the health of democracy like health of an individual, if you have to analyze how healthy is our democracy, then you will have to find out discourse quality, the kind of discourse we have. Is our discourse moderated? Is our discourse manipulated? Is our discourse controlled by money bags, by muscle power, by foreign interests, by people working against interest of this nation? You will have to discern. So quality of discourse defines our democracy. And in this, I have no doubt our youth must elevate beyond partisanship to thoughtful deliberation. Our youth cannot afford at this critical juncture when Bharat is rising. The rise is unstoppable. We are destined to be a global power. We will be a developed nation. You cannot be tied down to partisan interests. You have to believe only in national interest. In India, if we examine our background, there was a time when individuals had profound moral and social standing. Respect was only for those who had high moral, ethical standing, who had everything to give back to the society. If I quote Upanishad, Yatha pinde tatha brahmande. As is the individual, so is the universe. व्यक्ति जो होगा ब्रह्मांड वही होगा. इसलिए कहा गया यथा पिंडे व्यक्ति, यथा ब्रह्मांडे. And that is why people have narrowly construed the great inclusivity of Bharat, Dharma of Bharat. And our silence, boys and girls, may be very dangerous. As thinking minds, as privileged minds, getting education in such a great university, you have to be contributors for preserving our national legacy, our thought process, and ensure sustainability of it. We cannot afford this to be thwarted by forces inimical to Bharat that have structured sinister designs, pernicious motivations to run down institutions, be that of the presidency, tarnishing individuals. Every word that is spoken by a constitutional functionary is guided by the supreme sublime interest of the nation. But the expectation is that our youth, our young minds, and when I say our youth demographic dividend is envy of the world. Our youth has catalyzed big change. Rise of our economy to that level will be third largest very shortly, is on account of everyone working in togetherness. Government has a role that it does not become a handicap. Government has a role that it must have affirmative policies. But government is like giving me a good stadium, a good football ground. Goals have to be scored by individuals. You are the people who have to do it. The ancient wisdom, if you carefully go through our constitutional prescriptions, I'm particularly addressing law students, you will find powerful resonance of our constitutional values. As a matter of fact, high ethical standards, welfare of all, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, these are deeply, indelibly embedded in our DNA. We as a nation are different than any other nation on the planet. We must legitimately take pride. हम भारतीय हैं, भारतीयता हमारी पहचान है, राष्ट्रीयता हमारा धर्म है, राष्ट्र के प्रति समर्पण करना हमारा सर्वोपरि कर्तव्य है और हमें इसको आगे बढ़ाना चाहिए, सर्जन करना चाहिए, इसका संकल्प लेना चाहिए. Boys and girls, our national transformation stands on 5 pillars. 1, social harmony, समरसता, भाईचारा हो, एक दूसरे की बात समझें. ये हमारी सांस्कृतिक धरोहर है, हमें इसको उपजाना है, इसका संरक्षण करना है. Unifying diversity, we have always believed in inclusivity. Family nurtured patriotism, बच्चे को शुरू से ही संस्कार सिखाना, इसके बहुत दूरगामी परिणाम है. ये हमारे संस्कृति का एक अभिन्न अंग है. स्वदेशी, सेल्फ रिलायंस, महात्मा गांधी ने कहा था स्वदेशी, प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने कहा है वोकल फॉर लोकल. पर आप इसका फायदा देखिए, economic nationalism, boys and girls, is a fundamental aspect of economy. When we get in this country items that can be made here, not only we are draining out our foreign exchange, we are depriving our people of work. We are blunting entrepreneurship. We can make Bharat Atmanirbhar by each individual consciously contributing for it. Be it natural resources, reckless consumption is not in our traditions because we are trustees. Our fiscal power, our money power cannot entitle us to make a demand on our natural resources which belong to one and all, beyond human beings to all living beings. Civic duties is the fifth pillar of it. Every individual, if he or she decides, we can inculcate a new fervor of nationalistic spirit by integrating individual responsibility, traditional values, environmental consciousness in our journey of cultural pride and self-reliance. लोक संग्रह हमारे वैदिक कल्चर में है. इसको कह सकते हो कि हर किसी की भागीदारी, हर किसी का योगदान. अपने भारतीय संस्कृति में यदि आप देखोगे और जाओगे पुराने कल्चर में, कन्यादान क्या होता था? व्यक्ति अपनी बेटी की शादी करता था पर कन्यादान हर कोई देता था. दुनिया के अंदर आज तक इससे बड़ा अजूबा उदाहरण नहीं है कि ये क्यों है. ये क्या सिखाता है? Public order stems not from force, not from coercion, from voluntary discipline. National growth depends on citizens' pervasive attitude. Public order thrives when every individual acts as guardian of law and justice. अब just imagine the scene which we face. Youth must influence mindsets. How can our democracy, I pose a question, how can our democracy tolerate disruption, property destruction, constitutional challenges, and assaults on civilization ethos? Public property, our property being burnt. Public order being disrupted. Even when rule of law is taking its own course, we must neutralize these forces. First by counseling, and if counseling does not work, then sometimes a bitter pill has to be given even to the body to keep it in shape. Boys and girls, no one has greater stakes than you have. Your stakes are the highest because you are the future of this country. If Viksit Bharat will be attained, which it will be with your mindset contributing 100%. As they say, the engine must fire on all cylinders in full throttle. We have to understand what is meant by nationalism. It is not jingoistic aggression, but profound love for the nation, profound belief in our culture and heritage. We have to celebrate our great achievements, take them to greater heights, at the same time being fully cognizant of our shortcomings. Everyone will have shortcomings. Failures, these are natural. A failure is not a failure. It is another stepping stone for success. And in that perspective, we have to believe The true nationalism manifests through several elements. One, give your very best to the nation. Excellence, integrity, conservation, compassion, and not sloganeering. We must keep away from it. Keeping the nation first, keeping national interest uppermost. We can never have national interest subservient to partisan interest. That is not option. It is the only way out. Because we are proud Indians, and already quoted by him, Dr. Ambedkar said, forget about everything else. एक ही मंत्र को ध्यान में रखो, वो मूल मंत्र है, वो भारत की संस्कृति का निचोड़ है. I quote him the relevant part. Vice Chancellor quoted in extension. Ambedkar's wisdom is, be Indians first, Indians last, nothing but Indians. Unquote. And his second one, I quote, educate, organize and agitate was meant for you, boys and girls. Meant for you. Students, and the cream is before me. And I'm sure students all over the country will be listening to me. Be a responsibility towards national unity, progress. It is your obligation to neutralize divisive voices through active engagement in social media. You have to focus on governance, improve its quality, because you are the foot soldiers for our journey to Viksit Bharat at 2047, if not before. Nations are built not by governments. Nations are not built by industrialists. Nations are built by individuals. The power of the individual, as I said, an atom. The power is atomic. You have that power. You only have to realize it. But the greatest impact comes, boys and girls, when you excel in integrity, in ethical standards in your field, and always aim to serve a public purpose, a public cause. New India would emerge and is emerging only through citizens performing duties with dedication. Let me warn you on certain things. Choosing integrity over expediency. Many people take shortcuts. Believe me, a shortcut is the longest distance between 2 points. When you are in trouble, when you are in difficulty, if you take shortcut with rule of law, if you take shortcut with financial discipline, there may be momentary success. But when you get into the rut of it, you are never out of it. Therefore, never choose expediency over integrity. Our national character should be, we are honest people, because the nation can be honest with honest people only. Democracy's quality depends on participation, voting informed opinions, civil society engagement, constructive different point of view. Democracy has to be vibrant, it is not procedural. Educated youth must evaluate politics beyond partisanship. You must learn to demand accountability from everyone, including the one speaking to you. You must be highly critical and judgmental. If you think what I say is wrong, I am subject to correction. But if you think I am right and still you observe silence, trust me, you will be silenced forever. I think I have taken more time than I should have. 12:15. I have to receive a distinguished constitutional functionary at 12:30. I'll be late by 7 minutes. I'll give them the excuse that I was engaged with the students. एक बात आखिर में, आपके वाइस चांसलर विद्वान है, मैं ये नहीं कर रहा हूं, दूसरी बात कर रहा हूं, विद्वान तो हैं। सही बात सही समय सही समूह को और सही व्यक्ति को कहने में हिचकिचाहट करोगे तो खुद को तो दुर्बल करोगे ही, उन सकारात्मक शक्तियों को भी आप गहरी चोट पहुंचाओगे। इसलिए अभिव्यक्ति और संवाद सर्वोपरि। I am grateful as usual for the great opportunity given to me. Thank you so much. Namaskar.
Thank you very much, sir, for your words of motivation and inspiration. I request everyone to kindly rise for the national anthem.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता, पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल गंगा, विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा, तव शुभ नामे जागे, तव शुभ आशीष मांगे, गाहे तव जय गाथा। जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता।